just received a book, and it's this beautiful hardcover book of Unearthed with Beatrice Cortez.
My hair stank of sweat and cigarettes, and my limbs were all tangled up in...
Good morning, my friends. My name is Tally. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a weekly reading vlog. I want to talk so much about the books that I read this weekend. I did so much reading. I didn't want to vlog it because I just wanted to enjoy my time reading and relax and just listen to some audiobooks. I did finish up 3 books. I started listening to City of Girls by Elizabeth Gilbert. So far, so good. I'm also listening to In the Dream House by Carmen Maria Machado. This is one of my most anticipated reads of the year, so I just wanted to get on it. I also downloaded Daisy Jones and the Six. I will be also listening to that. And I'm currently reading Long Way Down by Jason Reynolds. I am 60% done. I finished reading All Boys Aren't Blue by George M. Johnson. Ugh, I loved it so much. And I also finished reading Ghost Boys by Jewel Parker Rhodes. This is a more middle school book, and it's perfect for educators. So if you're an educator and you're looking for like a book to read to your students, I think that one is very good. And I also finished The Color Purple, another amazing book. I mentioned that I was going to start this in December, but I never did. So I started it on January 1st, and I ended up finishing it in one day. It's that fast. I'm having some rice and tated crab, I think. Yeah. This was so emotional, so powerful and captivating. I feel it follows Celie, who is writing letters to God, and we just feel her pain of having to go through sexual abuse from her father, and her sister and mother not knowing. She then is married off to a man who she calls Mr. We don't get to know his name until like a few pages forward. She takes care of his children, and she has to clean her husband's son, who is named Harpo. He's the oldest. He marries off to a woman named Sophia, and she's one of my favorite characters because she just doesn't care about anything, take shit from anyone. And there's a quote on here that she says, and it says, "All my life I had to fight my daddy, my brothers, my cousins, and uncles. A girl child ain't safe in a family of men." And I just love the way that she defends herself from her husband, who is Harpo, and he is Celie's, the main character, stepson. Yeah. So then we are introduced to Shug Avery, another strong and very powerful woman in this book. Is Celie's husband, ex-wife. She's sick, and I think she has HIV or a sexual transmitted disease. I'm not very sure. When Shug and Celie meet, they commence this really nice relationship with each other and eventually become friends. And I really like the relationship. So not only Celie needs to clean the house, take care of her husband's kids, but she also gets beat for every single little thing. There comes a time where Shug defends her. So yeah, there's a lot of trigger warnings in this book, and it's hard to read at times, but I feel like it's definitely important because it touches topics like inequality, racism. The author presents Celie's thoughts with poor grammar, spelling, since she couldn't get an education, and we see this throughout the story. I just feel like I need to really sit down and really think about this book because there are just so many things. There are so many symbols to The Color Purple, which is the title of the story. It just shows her dignity and transformation as a person. You know, in the beginning she's this weak and fearful person, and once she meets Shug and Sophia, she's able to let go of her fears and defend herself. Let's talk about, so I did finish listening to All Boys Aren't Blue, and this is narrated by the author themselves, and it talks about gender and how it's the biggest projection of children at birth, because they also talk about the sexual abuse that they went through, and it was one of their family members. They also write stories to their family, their little brother, mother, or father, and especially their grandmother, who was their circle, their protector. It's very heartbreaking to listen to them just talk about their grandmother and all the pain that they went through. It also talks about how all their life they knew that they were different, and they talk about how kids in society now, they don't have an issue with how other kids identify themselves until society teaches them to shame others. And it always comes from the parents. The parents teach these kids where they learn. So the kids are not mean, parents teach them. And I really love that about this memoir. It also talks about respecting other people's names and pronouns. Always try your best to get someone's pronouns right. It's just being respectful. I feel like this memoir is perfect for young LGBT children who are going through the same thing. They hope that by using their voice, other students can get the help that they need, help other children that went through the same thing or are going through the same thing. So I just finished my meeting. I'm currently reading Long Way Down by Jason Reynolds. It introduces us to Will, whose brother Sean just got shot, and he starts explaining the rules of when someone does get shot in his neighborhood, and it is no crying, no snitching, and revenge. So always take revenge for the person who was killed. In this case, he is debating whether he is going to kill the person who killed his brother, and he specifically knows who did it. And so he takes the elevator with a gun on his pocket, and once he's inside the elevator, several ghosts appear, and these ghosts are people who have died in the past, starting with Buck, who was one of his brother's friend, and then Dina, was that her name? Danny. And Danny, who was his childhood friend and who was also shot. And from there, the ghost of his uncle, his father, comes in the elevator. His ghost starts telling him exactly how he died. So it's definitely very heartbreaking. We can read the pain that the main character is going through from all the deaths that he has encountered in his life, especially his brother, who got shot basically right in front of him. A lot of descriptions and actions of the characters that make me feel like I'm right there. I received this magazine in the mail, and it's from Halsey's makeup products. I just got back from Target. I picked up my bookshelf. I'm so excited. I'm going to put it right next to this one right here, because I just ran out of room. That's the only reason why I got it. You guys can see that there's books here, and then there's stacks right here that don't fit anymore, so hopefully I'm able to fix that up. Hello, good morning, my friends. Today is Tuesday. It is currently 2:00 p.m. I've been listening to In the Dream House by Carmen Maria Machado, and it's even better when you're listening to it. you just feel it so deeply, passion, and the fact that she opened up to her readers and wrote everything that she felt about this relationship that she had with her abusive ex. I remember how she mentioned how Carmen Maria Machado mentioned that this person was driving and she missed their exit and she drove over a pothole, so they get a flat tire, so they have to go change it. And she writes how she felt very embarrassed that her car had failed her. The person tells her that it's part of that adventure. It's very astonishing to read how a person can be hiding their true self and in the beginning be so caring. Alright, hey guys, so it is now 3:31 and I'm currently having my lunch. I'm eating my huevito. I'm having some iced coffee. This is the best iced coffee that I've had in a while. This is the Dunkin' Donuts iced coffee. I got it yesterday at Target and it's just so good. I'm listening to In the Dream House by Carmen Maria Machado, as I mentioned earlier, and I am currently 60% done, and right now I just wanted to get my reactions and just listen to parts of it with you guys while drinking my coffee and having my lunch. And I am writing some notes while listening to it just because it's very important right now. It's very intense, and she is talking about some stories about other women who have been in lesbian relationships and they've had abusive partners, and she mentions the story of Deborah, who murdered her abusive partner.
Her technical incompetence was my luck, and my luck was that I could sit there watching the door test its hinges with every blow. I could sit there on the floor and cry and say anything I liked, because in that moment it was my own little space, even though after that it would never be mine again. For the rest of my time in the dream house, my body would charge with alarm every time I stepped into that bathroom, but in that moment I was the closest thing I could be to safe. When Deborah Reed was eventually released on parole, she had to stay in prison longer than she needed to because securing housing was a condition of her release, and she was having difficulty doing so. She told an interviewer, "I just want to get an apartment and turn my own little doorknob and use my own bathroom and eat my own food. I can't get Deborah or her doorknob out of my mind. I hope she got what she needed." Dreamhouse says double cross. This maybe was the worst part. The whole world was out to kill you both. Your bodies have always been abject. You were dropped from the boat of the world, climbed onto a piece of driftwood together, and after a perfunctory period of pleasure and safety, she tried to drown you. And so you aren't just mad or heartbroken. You grieve from the betrayal. When I was a child, my parents, and then learning from their example my siblings, loved to refer to me as melodramatic or, worse, a drama queen. Both expressions confused and then rankled me. I felt things deeply, and often the profound unfairness of the world triggered a furious poetic response from me, but while that was cute when I was a toddler, neither thing, feeling, responding to feeling, aged well. Ferocity did not become me. Later, retelling stories about this dynamic to my wife, my therapist, the occasional friend, filled me with incandescent rage. He said, "Shut up," and everyone is turning to look at her. This final scene, Mann said in an interview years later, was inspired by Hitchcock's The Man Who Knew Too Much, when Doris Day's character lets loose a blood-curdling scream during a symphony performance. Of abuse, its wild emotional shifts, the eponymous cycle, is in the very marrow of the music. Edna treated her lovers, male and female alike, with no small amount of cruelty. She was talented, but arrogant, brilliant, but profoundly selfish. For your own good, slayed me with its beauty. Melissa Fugos's essay, Abandon Me, traced queer relationship drama with brilliance. Terry Castle's The Professor made me laugh out loud.
Okay, hello. So it is now 8 o'clock. I just finished listening to In the Dream House. Really liked towards the end of the story. Where is it? When she finds an SD card and she finds naked pictures of her. She says, "You sit there a while thinking about the photos. You could keep them, but you have no..." I don't even understand my writing. "You could keep them, but you have no reason to, good or bad. You don't find them erotic anymore. How quickly your desire curdled when you saw her for who she was, like the scene in The Shining when Jack Nicholson pulls away from a sexy woman to find a decomposed creature in her place." And it just explains you have this desire for someone, but once you get to know this person and she puts you through so much shit, she's this creature. This memoir was just perfect and I learned a lot. So even though I got lost at times, those episodes of their fights and stuff, everything was just so powerful. So I loved it. got these new bottles with, excuse you, thank you. I'm gonna drink my coffee for now on. So instead of buying the Dunkin' Donuts little bottles at the store, I just decided to buy these plastic bottles from Amazon that have lids on there. So I prepare my coffee every single morning and I put a couple of bottles inside the fridge so my coffee will be ready already. And the lids are sealed, so it's like you're opening a brand new bottle like from the store.
Okay. You still have about 4 months. How's that gonna work?
I am tired of listening to audiobooks, so I'm going to get a book from my bookshelf. Let's see. So these are the ones. I can either start reading On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous, but I want to do a 24-hour reading blog for that. Ooh, I can start reading The Handmaid's Tale. Because I do want to watch the TV show. Yeah, I'm gonna read The Handmaid's Tale. I also need to dye my hair. Do you guys see how orange it looks? My hair done maybe like a year ago, and I haven't been able to go back just because of COVID. So. All the years I met in thee tonight. I'm gonna shake him. So I'm gonna be journaling right now, and I'm gonna be watching a documentary, which is Natasha Kampusch, I think that's how you pronounce it. Little setup that I have. my friends. So it is now Friday night. It is currently 7:37 p.m. Before I end this vlog, I just wanted to talk about my last reads that I did this week. And I was able to finish reading 5 books this week. And I had to DNF City of Girls just because I just didn't feel intrigued, and I was just not interested to finish the story. Maybe it was because of the audiobook, maybe it was because I don't really like audiobooks. I can understand why people like it because it does take place in New York and then the 1940s. It just revolves around like being the best year to live in New York and then going to parties and having sex. Did not find it a problem, you know. It is told by Vivian, who is an old lady now, and she's taken us back to when she was a 19-year-old who made a lot of mistakes, and how those mistakes helped her become the woman that she is now. I'm gonna continue my reading. I'm gonna try to finish reading A Stranger in the House. This is a thriller, and I did start it yesterday. I'm 38% done with it. And there are like 300 pages. I'm on page 120, but Stranger in the House, I'm gonna put it up here. It is a thriller, and it follows Tom and Karen, who are newlyweds. They live in upstate New York. Both of them have their jobs, but one day Tom comes back home from work and he finds his wife gone. Her purse is still there, the door is unlocked, and her phone, and she forgot her phone as well. Shortly he receives a call from cops, and they tell him that his wife just suffered an accident crashing onto a pole. He gets to the hospital and wife suffers a concussion and a few scrapes, and the doctor tells him that she has lost her memory, so she doesn't recall anything from the accident. She forgets what happened. Cops are questioning her and they doubt that she lost her memory. Cops find a dead body of a man who got shot several times, and after taking him to the crime lab, they figure out that this man died the same day that Karen crashed into the pole. So now they think that Karen has to do something with the murder. So it is kind of intense. It's not very suspenseful yet, but I'm hoping that the plot twist is good. I'm hoping that the ending is good. Right now we're excited. We're gonna keep on reading and see what happens in the story. I'm on chapter 15. I'm 28% done, but I'm going to end the vlog here. I hope you guys enjoyed my weekly reading vlog, reading lots of books. I will definitely talk about this book later on if you guys are interested, for my thriller lovers. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!